need to go back on your meds pen.
I don't want to be on a drug for the rest of my life. I shouldn't have to need it.
Well, I shouldn't have to need these either, but I do to see. And to look rugged, but also smart.
It's not the same thing.
Oh, no? Okay. Want to go for a drive?
When season 1 came out, you have this like, Norman Lear's back, and it's One Day at a Time's back, and there's all this stuff, and it kind of comes in. Season 2 is, you're a TV show. You're talking about the things the show talks about. So I wanted to get a sense from all of you guys, but specifically Mike and Gloria, is how does that evolution take place, and how did you find season 2? You got the season you wanted.
Yeah, I feel, I mean, we're both very proud of it, for sure.
We are very proud of it.
Everything is driven by where, you know, people coming into the room and talking about what they're talking about. These writers, they're both their biographies, which, you know, we take from to make the stories, and then how they merge with things that are happening in the national conversation. We never set out to do an issue show, but, you know, we're all living through a time where issues are deeply embedded into our lives. Got in there, season 2, people were eager not to be like, oh my God, I saw this headline, I want to do this, but people are living some dramatic lives.
Well, it's like the world is different. I mean, my brother called me, we grew up in San Diego, Oregon via San Diego, and he called me up and he was like, I was at the beach and somebody told me to go back to Mexico. And he was like in shock over it because we've lived in San Diego for a gazillion years. It's right there next to Mexico. It's never a problem. It's a very liberal, lovely town, a lot of military who are wonderful, and it's just, it blew his mind. And so it's like, what is going on? I mean, we could just feel a seismic shift. And so to be able to reflect that and then hear other people's stories of like, what is happening out there and how it would naturally and organically affect this particular family, that's where the conversation starts.
A lot of the stuff that's happening out there affects this particular family.
Yeah.
So, season 2, you guys now have a season 3. Is this the show that you envisioned when you guys talked about bringing it back?
I'd like to say it's the show I envisioned. It is the deliciousness I hoped for. It is the humanity I hoped for. And it is all of the above that's delivered by Gloria and Mike. Gloria is herself Cuban-American, and this family is Cuban-American. So she brings the, you know, all of that culture to it. I think because I believe we are just, you know, other versions of each other, that Mike and I find ourselves in this family just as much as she does, but she has the Latino, she has who they are, and she delivers it.
Now do you feel like you've been able to finally settle into the character? It's your show. You're the lead of this show, and this comes at a certain time in your career where you've got the chops and the skills, and you do this. How does it feel for you now, one day at a time?
Oh, yes, it feels amazing. The first season, we were discussing that we kind of made the first season in a bubble. We had 13, you know, straight to series. We had Netflix. We knew that we were going to get all 13 on. We knew that it wasn't going to get canceled after the second or third episode. So we kind of made this beautiful show in a bubble. And then you guys got to see it, and people responded overwhelmingly so great to our show. Then the second season, I went in really nervous because I was like, how are we going to top that season? You know, what are we going to do there? So I think that because we had such a successful second season, and I guess proved myself maybe, because when you're working with Rita Moreno, you kind of have to. You have to be able to, because she's so incredible and she's such a great presence. So I feel like I'm in my groove now for the third season. I feel very excited. And I feel that now the questions are more about the show, whereas in the first year, it was more about, you know, Norman Lear coming back and Rita Moreno, and who wouldn't be incredibly excited about that? But now they're seeing that this is a show worthy of Norman Lear, Rita Moreno.
Looking at this show now, Norman, looking at the America of 2018, what do you think this show says to the America of 2018?
I'm lost in the first part of your question. Looking at America in 2018, my head can only go to my grandchildren and everybody else's grandchildren and those on the cast who have little children who have not inherited the America I inherited. And I want to see us go back. That's what my head was full of with the question. We've got a long way to go back to deliver the America that I was born into for all the kids that follow.